News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Karen Moscow.
Karen, with less than a week to go until a possible government shutdown, the White House is telling federal agencies to make plans well beyond what they've done in the past. We get the story from Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti.
The White House Budget Office is telling agencies to plan for mass firings during a shutdown. In the past, government workers deemed non-essential have been furloughed and brought back when funding is restored, usually with back pay. This time, a White House memo is directing agencies to identify programs with discretionary funding that's set to lapse, then draft plans to eliminate jobs that don't align with Trump administration priorities. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries posted on X that Democrats won't be intimidated by the threat of mass firings. President Trump canceled plans to meet with Democrats today on avoiding a shutdown. Funds are set to lapse this Wednesday. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
All right, Gina, thank you. A top Judiciary official is warning federal courts will run out of money to fully operate as soon as next week if Congress fails to avoid a government shutdown. Judge Robert Conrad says the Judiciary has funds to sustain operations through October 3rd, but tight budgets have reduced the ability to extend operations.
Well, later today, Karen, President Trump meets with the leaders of Turkey and Pakistan. He'll welcome Turkish Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan late in the morning. Erdogan is hoping to reset relations that have been shaken by tariffs and Turkey's purchases of Russian weapons. Turkish officials say the meeting could clear the path for more than $50 billion of deals on U.S. liquefied natural gas, Lockheed Martin fighter jets, and Boeing planes. Then this afternoon, President Trump meets with Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. Pakistan's leaders have nominated President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize and credited him with brokering a ceasefire with India in May. Pakistan has secured a 19% tariff rate from the U.S., much lower than India's rate of 50%.
Let's turn to late night now, Nathan. Jimmy Kimmel's return to TV drew his biggest audience ever. At the same time, though, ABC is preparing for a legal battle. And Bloomberg's John Tucker joins us with the details. John, good morning, and let's start with the ratings for the show. What did they tell you?
They tell us that 6.26 million people tuned in to see Jimmy Kimmel Live.
We are back to work doing our show.
And Karen, compare that to the 1.5 million viewers the show has averaged this year. This according to Nielsen data. Now, the numbers don't include the viewers who watch the program on streaming services. And the total was considered pretty high since Nexstar Media and Sinclair, two large owners of ABC affiliates, didn't even air the show. Together, they reach about 23% of U.S. households. As far as the legal issues, ABC parent Walt Disney is preparing for President Trump to retaliate. The company's anticipating the Trump administration might go after its broadcast TV licenses. Disney's also seeking regulatory approval from federal agencies for two deals, one to acquire media assets from the NFL, another to merge Fubo TV with its Hulu Live TV service. Last year, Disney did cave, paying $16 million to settle a lawsuit brought by the president over alleged defamatory comments made by ABC News host George Stephanopoulos. In New York, I'm John Tucker, Bloomberg Radio.
All right, John, thank you. Turning to the economy now, jobless claims, trade, durable goods orders will all be released this morning, but the real market focus may be on the release of a lot of Fed speak. Let's get the details from Bloomberg's Michael McKee.
By the end of this week, there should be no question about where individual Fed policymakers stand on rate cuts, regulation, and the dollar. 14 of the 19 members of the rate-setting Open Market Committee are speaking, including 7 today. New Governor Stephen Miron leads off with an interview on Bloomberg Radio this morning, followed by Chicago's Austin Goolsbee, Kansas City's Jeffrey Schmidt, Governors Mickey Bowman and Michael Barr, Lori Logan of Dallas, and Mary Daly of San Francisco. What will we learn? If Chairman Powell's comments earlier this week are any indication, maybe not much. We've not had much in the way of economic data that could shape the vote at the end of next month. Michael McKee, Bloomberg Radio.
Thank you, Mike. And you mentioned that interview with Stephen Miron. You can hear that live, 8:15 a.m. Wall Street time on Bloomberg Radio, or watch on the Bloomberg television or the Bloomberg podcast channel on YouTube.
Well, Nathan, meanwhile, San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly said further interest rate cuts are likely needed, but the central bank should approach those with caution. Daly spoke at an event at the University of Utah.
Now, my own view is that further policy adjustments are likely. Will they come right now, this year, or going forward? It's hard to say. But what's really important is that making those policy adjustments will likely be required to balance both of our goals, keep pressure on inflation to bring it to price stability, and offer support to the labor market to ensure that it stays near full employment.
And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Karen Moscow.
I'm Nathan Hager, and this is Bloomberg.